Thank you for staying with the State of the Nation. The State of the Nation address by the President is actually happening today. And the question everybody is wondering, will Ruto raise Kenya's hopes? This is a question on the front page of the Daily Nation. Honorable Nyonka, I'll start with you. What should the President focus on this State of the Nation address?
Trevor, you're making a big mistake.
Okay. Why?
The question you should be asking me is, what has Ruto done since he became president? And that answer today, I want to donate all my hours as I'm sitting here with you to Mr. Kagusha. Okay. Today, let him tell us.
That's okay. I'm here.
Trevor, I want to hear what he's going to tell me.
Okay.
Today, we are not going to cost of living, you know our things.
Yeah.
We now shelve them. Let him tell us what they have done.
Okay.
Okay.
That I will do.
Kagusha, time again.
Starting with fuel, which is at 300, going to 300.
Yeah, I will give that, but just allow me 1 second, just 1 second, because I don't want to be left with a I don't want to be left with a taste in the mouth. Because really, Eddie here would like to paint me as a man who does not support women.
Yeah.
And yet,
I'm
one of the people who are very supportive to women. Oh. And if he has listened to my argument throughout, my argument has strongly stayed on the woman's side. Are you getting? And I have congratulated them just a minute. I have congratulated them for having seen what what men should see, and especially when it comes to the respecting of women and empowerment of women. And I was asking a question the whole night because I was watching this, and really, Eddie here should have asked me why I'm talking about chest thumping of women and celebration of women on them having won. And that has gone on overnight. And the women who have been doing this, they know, because there's a platform we share, and they know that I know. But also, I'm also wondering, these women who are congratulating themselves so much, and at no point they are congratulating the men who voted for this woman. Could it be that there's something else that they had done to ensure that these men vote the way they voted? And that is why they're not congratulating.
That's a myopic.
I told you, Trevor, his candidate lost. I don't know who the candidate was.
I think it should be on TV.
And there is no...
I think it should be on TV.
Let's go
to the State of the Nation.
No, but this is not cutting as partial.
Let's go to the State of the Nation.
From what he's saying, I think it should be on record.
Yes, because there's information he has.
Wasn't supporting Kawira Mwangaza.
Yes.
That's be on record.
Why are you forcing it on me?
I'm not forcing it. It's what you are saying.
That's what he's saying.
Because you seem so bitter. You seem so bitter, although you're laughing, but you seem so bitter that Kawira Mwangaza did emerge.
Trevor, Eddie, Senator Eddie, his team was giving money and they lost money, so they are bitter.
Give money.
Giving money.
Yeah, what is he saying?
No, that's a new confession.
No. He's the one talking.
Were you giving money as
No, we were not. He's the one who said. You heard what he said. And the women are bitter. Wait. And the women are bitter, and there's something they put together, which. What is the thing that women would put together?
Were you giving money?
No.
So who was giving money then?
But this with his group, that's why he knows.
You said it.
You see, he's providing the evidence.
Explain to the nation.
What you are discussing is that your team thought you were going to come to the Senate and buy us to vote against Kawira. We didn't get money, and even if you had given it to us, we would have taken it and still support Kawira.
Okay.
Mia would have eaten it and then vote for Kawira. Rosaf. What are you telling me?
Let's come back to the State of the Nation.
And you are going to bring money. Bring the money, we'll eat it. Finish and then still maintain Kawira there. Okay. What is this man talking about here?
You think you can buy this?
He thinks he can buy this thing.
Okay.
But you can't.
What you men think?
Your money is not going to help you guys.
All right, gentlemen. This was settled at the Senate. It is now clear.
But by the time we finish,
time was donated to you.
Yeah. By the time we finish, anyway. By the time we finish, I still want to
focus on what you've done as KK government. That's what you've been asked.
I still want to know, by the time we finish, how many impeachments would senators wish to go to them every year? Now let's go to the State of the Nation.
Why is he asking for a job that doesn't involve him?
Okay.
Impeaching is done by senators. He's asking us to plan how to get impeachment.
Okay. Senator Nyonka donated his
Trevor.
To focus on what they have achieved.
He's frustrating me.
And we must stop this rumor government.
All right, let's come back to the state of the nation.
So go back to what you have achieved. We want to listen.
Okay, now, thank you very much, Trevor. And today is a very important day where the government is able to enumerate some of the things that have happened. And I want to say that you have seen a very busy day in a market. Every person is making their kill and going home. But there's one person who suffers at night or the following morning, the person who comes to clean that market. So that person will always have a very big challenge because there's a pawpaw which was left, which was rotten. There's a pineapple which was dropped and it was crushed. There's even a baby who was in that market and did not have proper diapers, and they did what they did, and someone has to come and clean all that mess. And really, that has been what it has been for William Samoei Ruto for 1 year. That
cleaning a mess.
We have been. William Samoei Ruto has had the most unfortunate opportunity of cleaning so much mess that was left by the handshake government, and this the gentleman has done with a lot of grace. It is not easy for him. It's not easy for him, but he has to do the job. Mm-hmm. And one of the challenges, as I come to the issues that he has done, but one of the challenges that William Samoei Ruto has had to suffer is the fact that the handshake government had borrowed up to almost 10 trillion Kenya shillings. And after having borrowed that, what was enumerated in the books, then he also had now the challenge of coming to implement some of the projects that were also started by the previous handshake government that did not have resources to do. For example, there was the issue of the roads that the president is supposed to complete. Mm. But when you look at the books, those roads have a whole 1 trillion shillings that is pending bills that is not paid. At the same time, William Samoei Ruto has to pay all the loans that had been taken because most of the loans had a grace period and most of them now have come to mature at this time. As we are talking, this nation is faced with the biggest of the biggest challenges in this December, where this nation is supposed to be paying the $2 million Eurobond.
$2 billion.
$2 billion Eurobond. And maybe the nation might not understand Ruto as we are talking. But this gentleman has been having sleepless nights looking for money to ensure that he pays this Eurobond, to ensure that he does not jump, just like many other nations in the African continent have. You know, there are so many nations that have not been able to pay their Eurobonds and their loans. And of course, Kenya, you know, had the biggest Eurobond ever in this republic, in this continent, and probably even globally. And this Eurobond is now coming to be paid in this December. Yeah. And for that reason then, William Samoei Ruto had the opportunity of putting every single shilling together to ensure come December, yeah, he surprises the world by paying that Eurobond. It's supposed to be paid all the way up to May. But from what I have listened to him, I have had the opportunity to sit with him from time to time, he has clearly indicated that he wants to pay that Eurobond ahead of time.
So we will not default.
So that we don't default.
But the ripple effect of that is,
yeah, because defaulting would have a very serious ripple effect.
But people are now being overtaxed.
Are you getting? So now, the issue is here. A government has to give services to Kenyans. Government has to run. But this government has no money to run. Are you getting? And it's not because the government is not collecting money. If you are to look at the collections that this government is collecting today as compared to last year, the government is collecting way much more. So it's not like the government doesn't have money. This government has so much money and it is collecting so much more. You know, I have heard some people say that the government is not meeting, is collecting less because of overtaxing. You know, I've heard those kind of allegations. But the truth of the matter is, the government has set higher targets, way higher targets than last year to be able to meet its public debt, you know. And for that reason, in some of the instances, the government may not meet all the targets that it is having. But that does not mean that it is not collecting much more than it was collecting last year. It's collecting much more. But why is the government interested in collecting much more? Because government need to run the affairs of this republic, but also the government also need to pay the public debt. Are you getting? Now, what are some of the things that the government then has done, as Honorable Senator Onyonka here and Eddie asked in the 1 year? One of the things that the government has done is that it has dealt with the issue of balancing the economy. There have been challenges, like when you look at the issue of the fuel. There have been a challenge because the fuel, has risen in terms of cost way beyond what we expected. Mm-hmm. And of course, some of the people would want to say that it's out of the VAT. But if you are to look at the VAT component in this fuel, you will find that the VAT component that is there is just about 12 to 16 shillings, depending on how much you are retailing this fuel at. But if you look at the increase, you will see it's way beyond the VAT. Even if you are to remove the VAT today, fuel would still be retailing at around 198 to 202 Kenya shillings, depending on whether it is diesel or petrol. And that is exactly what is also happening across in other countries. And what the president is trying to do now is try and manage this challenge. Okay. And this challenge, to some extent, has also been managed through the G2G arrangement with the UAE. But the president is also going to visit the Saudi this weekend. And why is the president visiting Saudi this weekend? He's doing this to go and negotiate for a discount with the Saudi government, which is selling most of its fuel to us.
Okay, so it's cleaning a mess.
I mean, you get on that.
Yes.
Yeah, but the issue of the fuel costs may not necessarily have emanated from the mismanagement of the economy in the last 10 years. That one has a little bit much more to do with the external factors.
All right. Let's hear what the others have to say.
Just a minute. So that now I can very quickly also now come to the issues of how the government is now managing the issue of the economy.
We'll get
one of the ways the government is managing the economy is ensuring that there's production in the country, that we produce much more. You have seen the issue of launching of the industrial parks in counties. They are now being prepared for construction so that we can have industrial parks, so that we can produce more. You have seen the issue of producing food. You have seen where the government has lowered the inputs in terms of subsidizing the inputs, bringing the fertilizer all the way from 7,500 to 2,500, and also ensuring that it goes to the lower levels in the upcountry. Of course, sometimes you're having shortages here and there because of the uptake, which is way higher than what has been before. So government also need to ensure that it is having much more supply of fertilizer to mashinani.
All right.
Now, that is a very important issue that has happened. There's also the issue of taking care of our elderly people.
Okay.
For the first time, the government is paying the elderly people, the Inua Jamii, the cash transfer, the money to cushion people who are vulnerable and very old. It's being paid before the salaries of government officials is paid. And not only is the government doing that, but the government has also added another lot of people. Anyone who is beyond 70 years has been already added in the process of now receiving their money.
All right.
Are you getting?
Let's hear what Onyonka has to say about this also.
So there's the issue of production. Onyonka did donate his time to me. He said for this morning, he has donated all the time.
The exercise I allowed him.
So at this time, we have all the elderly people. I mean, let me say this. We have the issue of social protection. That is at the center stage of this, because we know there are those hardships of the economy. So there's a way government is taking care of those people who are quite vulnerable. But there's also the issue of production on the other side, to ensure that we are spurring the economy, and to ensure that this also brings about the issue of employment. There's the issue of the housing arrangement. And the housing arrangement that has already started in earnest. You can see now the president is launching new construction all over. Some people thought that this was not going to happen. Some people thought it was something that was not going to take place. But as we are talking today, the president, whenever he goes somewhere, he's launching a new construction that is happening. I mean, that in itself is bringing a new industry, is bringing more employment to the young people. And by the time we are about 1 year, you will see that there will be so much construction activities going on across the country that there will be
to say.
Trevor,
economy
Trevor,
in a big way.
Thank you very much, sir. I donated my time to Kagusha, but he has really disappointed me. You know, Honorable Kagusha, it is true that money that you are calling the 10 trillion shillings, which is a debt that we picked, was picked when President William Ruto now was a deputy to President Uhuru. It was never a handshake issue. In fact, Honorable Kagusha, I would like to remind you that some of the issues that our party leader, Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, used to raise about the debt is when the people started telling him he can go and kill himself because after all, na atadu. So that is your baby. Tell the president, the baby you created, figure out what you're going to do with it. Don't tell us it was during the handshake. Those that you are giving propaganda to, which doesn't help you or me. Let us learn to tell ourselves the truth. The truth is this. I will tell the president this, Your Excellency. Please mention that there was a scandal recently about oil, the G2G government deal, which was discussed. Now the president is going to Saudi Arabia. You remember, Trevor, I sat here and said this deal of G2G is a cock-up. It was a hoax. We know people are sharing money. I said it here. Now the president himself is going to try and find out what commissions or what discount is supposed to get. That is what a G2G deal does. You can't. I want to tell you, Your Excellency, President William Ruto, this G2G deal, President Museveni is getting very upset. And we are going to lose the Ugandan market even more. Please talk to him and negotiate. And then I'll tell him, Your Excellency, there was KNTC, which had a deal whereby somebody was bringing cooking oil and then coming to sell it in markets due with pumps. What happened to that money? I will tell him to discuss that on his speech. I would also say, Your Excellency, we are not going to talk about the issue of a taxation. Lakini mkubwa, hii mafuta, if it goes to 300 shillings a liter, you people are in trouble. You people are in a mess. Then Kenyans are feeling, Your Excellency, that they're being overtaxed. And then as you are overtaxing Kenyans, the president is making 46 flights abroad. The deputy president is going to Colombia. He's just walking in the park. Guys are driving gas guzzlers. People are driving Land Cruiser V8. Your Excellency, you said people don't travel. They are still traveling.
Okay.
Wastage and yesterday. Your Excellency, university students' money has not hit the universities. Our kids are staying like as if they are destitute. Your Excellency, the industrial parks, can you tell us how you want to do it? In our local, I'm a senator from Kisii. I don't know what it means. There is no clarity of policy. The issue of giving people fertilizers, excellent. But last time you only gave a few. Please, use your structure as a government to make sure everybody in our areas gets the money. Cash transfers, the same. National Hospital Insurance Fund, the same. I mean, that's a success. For your government, it's a success. But enlarge it, involve leadership.
Okay.
In other words, what you started as a pilot project, let the president now ask for data to look at the distribution. And I will tell him, Your Excellency, JKIA is in a mess, customers are getting annoyed, the travelers are upset, KQ is in a mess, and I want to tell him, in fact, the World Rally Championship will not come next year. Why? Your people have stolen all the money from there. Okay. Your Kenyans, my president, your Kenyans are stealing everything from the store.
Okay.
First of all, it is very disappointing when Kagusha doesn't empathize with Kenyans and even lies to them on TV that the cost of fuel, the taxes component, is averaging around 12 shillings. I think this is just wrong for a member of parliament. Let's break these things down so that Kenyans know. And Kenyans already know. But let's break them for Kagusha because he's a member of parliament who doesn't know.
No, give us the VAT.
No,
how much VAT is being collected?
That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say. All the taxes, right now, we have got petrol. When Uhuru left office, cost of petrol was averaging 138 in this country. The taxes on petrol, right now, petrol is going for about 217. The taxes on petrol that have come since Ruto came to office are 79.1. We have got diesel, which is the most used fuel in this country. When Uhuru left office, Kagusha, and Ruto took over the office, the average cost of diesel was going for 125, average. And the taxes that have increased since then on what you are calling Kenyans to look at as 12 is actually 67.35. We have got kerosene.
How are you arriving at that?
It is on the public domain. It is
not public domain.
EPRA is one
we are here with
prices. I don't arrive at them. It is EPRA.
VAT was increased 8%.
No.
The calculation?
No, the EPRA is one that EPRA has been increasing these prices every single day. And by the way, Kagusha, I follow these things very keenly because the prices of fuel globally reduced yesterday below what is in Kenya today. and this is my background, I'm telling you about facts. Kerosene that is the most used by Mama Mbogas in this country was averaging 125. Today, the taxes alone on kerosene have been 62.81. Trevor, what I want to tell Kagushia today is that we do not expect a state of the nation address from the president. We expect a state of national apology by the president of Kenya. That's what we expect to be addressed today. We want the president today to apologize on why the cost of fuel is reducing internationally, yes, and the cost of fuel in this country is going high. We want the president today to offer a state of national apology of why the Kenya shillings has been deteriorating. When Uhuru was leaving, Kenya shillings were trading against the dollar at 120. Today it is 151, Trevor. Against the Ugandan shillings, Kenya shillings was trading at about 32. Today is 36 against actually it was 25 when Uhuru left. Today it is 36 against the Ugandan shillings. Mr. Kagushia, we want a state of national apology from the president today on the high cost of education. When Uhuru Kenyatta was leaving, the cost of a secondary school was 22,000 shillings per student for capitation. That means that everybody, by the time that Uhuru was leaving, every single student who was in high school in this country was getting their money. Right now, as we speak, Mr. Kagushia, you must know that your government has done 65 billion to the secondary school education. That means that every student today is getting 16,000 shillings, 6,000 less of what previously used to pay. That means that parents today have got 6,000 more money that they must pay. The president must apologize to this country in his state of national address on all the projects that he made. Why would a Kenyan who is born in another country today be able to pay 1.2 million to become a citizen of this country? Is it a sin? No, but even if it was a mistake, they're still battling with numbers on which one. How do you tax a Kenyan and then you form an enterprise to start charging them for being born abroad? How do you do that?
Let me say this, Trevor.
Mr. Kagushia, let me finish. I gave you time. I gave you time. Because you don't feel the pain of the people of this country. And it's very embarrassing if you don't feel the pain of the people.
Senator Eddie, tell him, Senator Eddie. Tell him.
I gave you
Senator Eddie must understand that he has no time here. This is time for citizens.
But you are given that time. Allow him.
But also,
I'm just telling you the facts.
But of course, you must also understand that you have two against one. So give me more time.
We gave you more time. Kagushia is lying to the country that the president is using.
But also I can't allow him. I can't also allow him to disparage my statement. You can't say I'm lying to the nation when in fact Eddie is the one who is lying. Let me tell you why Eddie is lying. Let me tell you why Eddie is lying.
What the lie is about.
No, but also don't spread propaganda.
I'm not spreading propaganda.
Because once you give propaganda to Kenyans,
these are facts.
Taking it as
saying that Kenyans are not paying education more.
No,
are you saying that capitation for education has all been given when it is 65 billion?
But that's a lie. It's a lie.
So clarify.
It's a lie.
Down, I'll give you a chance.
Give me the numbers.
But Eddie, you know you're lying. I'll give you the numbers.
Are you saying that the president hasn't borrowed 1.2 trillion in the last 1 year? And you're saying that the president himself says
there's a big problem, Trevor. There's a very big problem of having an ignorant senator. Once you have an ignorant senator, then this country is headed the wrong direction. You know why I say he's ignorant? No. Let me tell you. Eddie says that he's in the energy sector. And I would want to ask him. I would want to ask him. I would want to ask Eddie this. I would want to ask him this. Eddie, let me ask you.
I am in Senate.
You're in Senate. You're in Senate.
Okay. How must be conversant.
If you are a senator, you must then understand. No, Trevor. If you are a senator, you must then understand how taxes are raised in government. You must understand that taxes can only be raised through a finance bill. If you are a senator and you don't know that, then you are very misinformed. I get it.
Being adjusted by EPRA constantly. How is that a lie?
But EPRA does not, let me tell you this. EPRA does not tax Kenyans.
Oh.
Parliament tax is the one which taxes
EPRA collects for
Kenyans.
EPRA collects for.
I
think we live in a different.
You know,
you're saying this emanated from the Finance Act. Is that your point?
It emanated.
And who passed the Finance Act?
Let me tell you this.
The legislature.
Let me tell you this.
Who passed the Finance Act?
The Finance Act was passed by the National Assembly and was also passed by the Senate. Are you getting? And Eddie must Eddie must know that the only tax that has been raised on fuel was 8%. Are you getting? And the 8%,
it was 8%,
and the 8%
plus 16
that was raised.
Plus
no. Just wait.
It was raised
The
16.
It was 16%, which means the cost of fuel has risen by 50%.
You see, what happened during the handshake government? There never used to be. There never used to be 16. I mean, there never used to be VAT for.
That was your Jubilee government.
There never used to be 60. I mean, there never used to be VAT for fuel.
Okay.
But what happened in the government that was handshake government?
There was no handshake government.
There was no handshake government.
What happened in the previous
Listen to this.
government?
I was in the coalition government.
No, it's not a
of
previous
President
government.
Kibaki. It's
It is
a
a
previous
handshake
government.
government.
Talk about your government
They
now.
raised.
Talk about now.
Gentlemen,
Talk about your government
Kaguta
now.
finish.
Don't tell us about
Gentlemen,
Uhuru.
yeah.
We are tired of listening about Uhuru Kenyatta.
Tell
us about now.
Okay, things were better then.
What are you doing now? Tell us what you are doing now.
Gentlemen, let him finish.
You know,
There was no coalition government. Tell us about William Ruto and Gachagwa's government.
Things were better then than they were now.
No.
I don't know how.
Trevor, we don't have to be here discussing about Uhuru. Uhuru left.
I don't know how.
We don't have Uhuru.
I don't know who.
Raila is not president.
Let Gabusha make his point.
The president is His Excellency William Samuel Ruto and his KK Alliance.
The issue is this.
Talk about them.
The issue is this. The only tax that has been raised in the fuel component, and that's what I said, is 8%. 8% was raised during the handshake government, and 8% has been raised during the KK government. Are you getting? But if you are to look at the tax component of the 8% that has been raised now, if you are to look at that, and the impact it has in the increase of fuel is only about 8 to 12 shillings. And that's what my brother here must understand. Every other tax that is on the fuel has not been raised now. This is a historical tax that has always been a fuel component.
Trevor, can I respond just one?
But now, the issue is, Kenyans must understand that we empathize with the situation. When Kenyans are paying for higher fuel, it's not because I'm paying lower as a parliamentarian. I also have to spend more fueling my car. And I have not gotten a salary increment, just like any other Kenyan.
But you have a higher capacity.
Are you getting?
Not a good
so
comparison.
that's okay. That's okay. I may have high capacity, but the issue is the hardships that Kenyans are facing are hardships that we totally understand, we totally empathize with. Are you getting? But some of these hardships that Kenyans are experiencing now are also not hardships that are being caused or have been caused by the KK government. Are you getting? It's just an unfortunate situation that, for example, we have what Chirchir was trying to explain now in Israel and Hamas. Because what would happen with the Israel versus Hamas fighting is that the logistics of transporting oil now to Africa becomes a little bit more.
Trevor, fuel in Tanzania is becoming cheaper.
But you know, really, we need to be factual. My brother,
that is a fact.
Listen to this. Once, I mean, if you go to Uganda, if you go to Tanzania today,
it is cheaper.
As we talk,
yes.
Are you getting? I have the facts. Fuel in Tanzania now, diesel is retailing in Amanga here at 202 shillings. Are we together?
And ours?
Are you getting? It's retailing at 202 shillings.
Ours?
And what is going to happen? What is going to happen is that the president is going to Saudi on this issue of fuel. And I want to tell Onyonka,
but as it stands,
that the G2G
don't even mention.
The G2G arrangement that was between Kenya and UAE was not between Kenya and Saudi, and president is not going to UAE.
Where did you get that agreement? Wait.
Whatever that
where did you see that agreement? Where did you see the agreement?
Saudi.
When did you see the agreement of the G2G?
Are you getting? The president is...
You have not even seen the agreement. You are lying here.
That you should have asked for it. You know, the president...
That's why I'm telling you, we have asked and it's not available.
No, you have not asked for it.
It's like the SGR.
You have not asked for it.
SGR, mnakula. It's like everything mnakula. You are hiding the documents.
The issue is here. the issue of production that I talked about,
Yeah.
you have to look at the issue of coffee. You say that Rigathi is going to foreign countries to
on holiday to walk around.
But
Jimmy.
that's basically, just maligning.
No, what
The
is
issue
it?
is-
What has he announced that he
issue
brought
is-
since he went
the issue
there?
is-
Even
as
a
we are talking
bilateral,
today,
even one
as we are
single
talking
bilateral
today,
agreement.
as we are talking today,
People are just
one of
traveling the
things that we are
world,
looking-
having
the
coffee,
issue we are looking
tea,
at-
Dubai, London.
the issue we are looking
What is
at-
it?
spending
The issue we are
Spending
looking at-
500 million,
The issue
touring
we
the
are
world,
looking at-
and
the
people
issue
don't
we are
have
looking at
milk in school.
is having-
Children are not
is
having
having a
capitation
direct
money.
bias.
All right. We have to leave it there for now. We've run out of time.
Trevor,
We are
just
looking at the issue.
This is all
No,
speculation
no,
because you're
no.
waiting for the state of the nation. For
Trevor.
Let the
president say what
you're
he's
giving him
saying.
everything to say.
No,
I just
thank
have
you
to
so
close.
People are just eating money of Kenyans.
State of the Nation address.
Thank you.
Bye for now.